Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with DR Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with a quick couple of prophetic messages. So with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into the message. But before I do, I just want to say that if the message does not apply, then let it fly, okay? Only take what resonates with you. And even if it's not a situation that you may be going through, but you're being divinely guided to hear this message out, it could be either possibly pertaining to you maybe a couple of weeks from now, a couple of months from now, or even it could be even applying to someone else who is within your immediate environment. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into the message. So on January 29th, I received a message and I heard God saying for one last time, okay? So whatever that may be for you, whatever it is that God is asking you to do, whatever it is that God had spoke to you about, or whatever it is that God had placed on your heart is what I just heard, okay? So it's going to be different for everybody's situation. But there's something that God has asked you to do that maybe you may have not acted on just yet, okay? And then on January 30th, I received the message. Oh, shoot. I received the message and it came in a form of like a chest drawer. You know, the tall chest drawers that has two doors on it. You open it up and it had mirrors on it. So usually mirrors mirrors to other gateways, okay? The chest drawer itself is a representation of, let's just say, the possibly different parts of the subconscious mind, in a sense, things that are suppressed or buried deep down, you know, within our psyche, in a sense, you know, and even sometimes your emotions are hitting down there as well too. Well, with that being said, I say all that to say that some of you guys are facing yourselves in the mirror in some sort of way. For some people, it's a little vain, and for others, they're really getting real and raw and honest with themselves, okay? Meaning like they're really starting to see the truth. Maybe you may have acted or responded in a certain type of way, and now it's almost like truths are being revealed. You're kind of questioning yourself. Thank you, Spirit. You're kind of questioning yourself whether you may have acted in the way that you thought you were supposed to, okay? So I just heard that some of you guys could be trying to make your wrongs right at this point, okay? Because sometimes we think that we're right about certain things, but then later down the road, sometimes, you know, God reveals to us where we may have responded a certain way that we may have been possibly, you know, responded either a little harshly or a little rigid, or responded according to the people, places, and things that we entertain that's within our immediate environment, rather than responding honestly from your true authentic self, which is your heart space, okay? So sometimes the environments can influence our decision making, and you know, and we have to be mindful of those things as well too. So the people that you hang around with, the environment that you're in, you know, it could be anything. It could be family, neighbors, sister, cousin, brothers, jobs, you know, all of these things, you know, the place that you live, all of these things can play a key factor in how you're responding, how you're acting, in a sense, you know. And again, because sometimes some people can be empaths to the point that they're picking up on other people's energy around them rather than them being their true authentic self. So if you guys watch my TikTok video on sensitive people and empath people, it'll kind of give you a little bit more detail. But the point I'm trying to make is people who are highly sensitive and people who are empaths, people may think, oh, I'm not sensitive. And I don't mean sensitive in that way. I'm just talking about, you know, in tune to your sixth psychic sense, in a sense. And therefore, if you can pick up on the energies that are around you, you can take on energies that you think is yours when it's really somebody else's energy, okay? And you can do that physically, you can do that emotionally, and you can also do that mentally a little bit too, if you're not, you know, in all aspects of that, okay? So anyway, you guys have to realize that we evolving and we're going back to our natural state, which is spiritual beings, okay? Anyway, so this, and also, I heard the song also too. Oh, I also want to say that the hidden mirror was also like hidden secrets of things that you have kind of kept concealed, things that you've been holding, suppressing, and not necessarily revealing, whether it be to other people, but keeping it to yourself, in a sense, okay? So things that you are keeping concealed that you don't necessarily want others to know about, okay? And that can come in any sort of way, physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, okay? But again, it goes back to repressed emotions, things of the subconscious minds, and self-awareness. All these things are playing a part with, you know, the chest drawer as well as the mirror, okay? Anyway, so the other song that I heard, well, this is a song that I actually heard. It was by Patti LaBelle, and it says, I Got a New Attitude, okay? So this message is fitting right in with the other messages that I had, told you about already. Okay, so again, it's about having a new attitude, a new mindset going forward. And then this next message I got received on January 31st. This message came through as like making a conscious decision. I heard making a conscious decision to, what was it? I'm sorry. Conscious decision to pack up. Oh, okay. So in this dream, so imagine like an apartment building, right? And this apartment building was like different people. It was a representation of kind of like different people. And I'm gonna describe it to you just really quick. So if you know how like I guess a hotel looks, where the doors are outside and they have the different levels. This building was kind of like that. And it was like, and the building was a representation of people experiencing their different walks of life. Okay, it's just letting you know that everybody is experiencing something different. I'm going through something different, you're going through something different, but that was a representation how we're all in one building, but we're all experiencing something different, like different realities. Okay, so basically in this message, it was like I got fed up. I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go. Okay. And then someone else in the dream who I knew was also there as well too. And they was also picking up and deciding to pack your stuff up and leave for good once and for all. So I say all that to say that some of us are coming to the end of a cycle. Okay. This has been like a 3-year period cycle. Okay. And it's like, you're just like tired. You're like done. I'm like, okay, no more. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, like, imagine somebody, it just came to me like, so imagine this. Like, so remember the movie Poltergeist? That's what Spirit just gave me. Remember Poltergeist? So imagine like they're experiencing all the things that they're experiencing within their household, right? And then they got to a point, it was like, I can't deal with this shit no more. So it's almost like they basically grab whatever they could, not even the whole house. So let's just say furniture, you kind of left that behind and you're not even worried about that. You just grab what was important to you and basically getting the heck out of Dodge. That's what I kind of saw. Like, myself and someone else in the dream who was also there. Again, it's different people experiencing different things, but basically they had enough. They're tired and they just basically decide to say, you know what, I'm packing up, I'm moving, I'm leaving. So throwing stuff in the trunk of the car, and it's kind of like, just leaving. Okay. So anyway, so some of you guys are going to be finding yourself doing that as well too. Leaving the old behind. And some people, this could be come in a form of different situations, whether a relationship, whether a job, whether, a friendship, whether a place that you're living, all of this. Okay. It's different for everybody. But there's something that God is really weighing on your heart that he is asking you to do, and something that he is asking you to release is just what I just heard, okay? Because in order for him to be able to bring you the new, you have to release the old first, because there's no room for the old and for the new to exist. It can't happen that way, okay? Because it'll be in conflict with each other. And I just heard like it'll be like being unequally yoked. Okay, the old life and the new life can't exist. Okay, anyway, so let's move on. So February 1st I received a message, and this message was this message came through. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read over real quick. It says some are in, I can't even read my handwriting. Forgive me, y'all. I'll be waking up in the middle of the night to write this stuff down. Some are in, thank you, Spirit. Some are in training to be leaders, okay? So some of you guys are in training to be leaders and you don't even know this. So some of us have had to experience some harsh situations, circumstances, and even be put in harsh places and environments with people, places and things that kind of help to build your character in a sense. Let me say that, okay? So whether we have liked the experience that we had to experience, you have to kind of give it thanks. Not necessarily saying that you're thankful for this person putting you through this, but but just know that God allows us to experience certain situations so that way it strengthens us, okay? Help us to step into the people that we are right now at this present moment, okay? Which means more of a higher vibration, more of a higher conscious mindset, okay? So anyway, so some people have been in training to become leaders, okay? Because even if you didn't ask for this is a part of your path, okay? So again, some people were being in training. They have been in training, okay? Whatever situations you've been dealing with, whether you were dealing with situations with other people, again, job situations, friends, neighborhoods, co-workers, bosses, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you feel like you have been going, and even situations that are spiritual, whether you're fighting off warlocks, witches, and warlocks and demons, fighting off oracles and all that other kind, okay? And I say all that to say, because yes, it can be light and dark and all those things, whether it was fighting off, the hexes, the curses, the black magic, the witchcraft, and, everything that possibly people may have tried to throw at you on this journey, in a sense, in all their little shenanigans. But nevertheless, all of this has been for a divine purpose, okay? And only God knows that. No, in due time, he will start to reveal that, is what I just heard, okay? So even if you don't know all of your steps right now, just know that God keeps some things at okay, as a way to kind of surprise you. So that way we find ourselves remaining kind of humble, in a sense, okay? So the next message I received too was, some people may find themselves in a situation to where they may find themselves allowing somebody else to move into their house again. And this can come in a form of where some people are ending a chapter and other people are beginning this chapter, what some people had to go through. So I say all that to say, and I heard in the process, like some of these people, like for instance, let's just say it, there's a situation that maybe somebody may allow somebody to move into their house. Why? Because they're in lack of money, okay? Anyway, and so the next message, so this next message came through is, be mindful too, because there could be somebody who could be way younger than you, in a sense. And when I say younger, this can be maybe somebody that is your age, or it could come in the form of a child, okay? So bear with me. It can be somebody that is your age, but has a mindset of like a child. Or this can come in the form of an actual child actually saying something. But when this person or child says something, it's almost like they're going to kind of give you some deeper meaning. It's almost like they're going to say something and cause you to really think deep about what they said, and realize that that's some sort of revelation, okay? So please don't dismiss the kids when they're talking, when they're speaking, because I have always said this, God can put his divine wisdom in even the youngest of the youngest child, okay? And I say all that to say, parents have to be mindful of when their kids are talking, to really listen, because sometimes these kids hold some weight within them that comes from the Most High. And I'm talking about, divine knowledge, divine wisdom, consciousness, just in ways that will really make you think and really think deep about what they just said, and kind of have you reflecting on your life like, wow, you know what I mean? So again, please don't dismiss the kids. And y'all just heard my phone go off, right? So this other message came through was, it's God was saying that God was revealing to me that he's about to bless some people's business, that their business is going to become very fruitful, okay? So, and I really got the message of, these are like small businesses. These are not big corporations, because see, one thing you have to realize is, and I just saw 333 as I said that, you have to realize God is doing a revamp. So anything that is not built off integrity, morals, value, respect, and love, and respect for other people, in a sense. And I don't care what job you at. I noticed that these hospitals are going through certain situations. I noticed some of these jobs are going through certain situations. God is doing, he's cleaning house. So let me just say that. So let me just say that if you're either working with someone, or if you are, within a corporation that is, again, not based off morals, values, integrity, you may want to question the fact of how long that job may be around, because in due time, I really feel like, and I'm gonna tell you why, because there's another message in here in a minute, because I really feel like God is allowing certain things to come to a close and to end, okay? Whether that can happen 3 months from now, 4 months from now, or even 6 months from now. That can even happen 2 weeks from now, is what I just heard as well too. So be mindful of that. And then this other message, I have 2 more messages, y'all. Bear with me. So this other message came through again on February 1st, and this dream came through as like it was a frog. Okay, so it was like, well, first of all, it was like being at a store. So the store is a representation of just being mindful of maybe like the certain foods and stuff that you partake in a sense. And I just heard that maybe God has been kind of telling you maybe it's time to go on like a fast in a sense, a spiritual fast. Because one thing you have to realize is when we do a fast, even if you do a fast for like 3 days, you know, I would normally say like 3 days. I can't say whether a person can do a fast for 3 days, but I know for me, I'm speaking only for myself. Okay, so you do what's best for you, because I know everybody cannot do that. But sometimes when I do a fast for 3 days, that really helps me to help my body to reset itself and able to really see things clearly, and able to really be able to see the truth, hear the truth, understand the truth, acknowledge the truth, and more importantly, to be able to discern the truth. So there's something about fasting, especially like when I find myself doing it for 3 days in a sense, that doesn't have to mean that you don't eat anything or whatever, but even if that just means that you eating a plate full of vegetables at dinner time or whatever, or just drinking water throughout the day. It's going to be different for everybody. So again, you do what's best for you. I'm not telling you to do what I do, but I do because I have been doing this off and on for some time now. So with that being said, that works for me. It gives my body enough time to reset itself, okay? And to get closer to the Most High. So if you're trying to get closer to the Most High, to be able to, again, hear the truth, see the truth, understand the truth, acknowledge the truth, just try fasting in your own way and whatever it is. And I just heard Spirit say that however you choose to fast, whatever it is that you say that you're going to do, you honor that and do exactly what it is you say you're going to do, okay? Because that's where God is going to meet you halfway and say, okay, you said you was going to do this, you said you was going to do that, you did it, so now I'm going to make 2 steps, okay? So however that may be for you, it could be 1 day, it could be 2 days. Again, do what's best for you, okay? And being in this grocery store was like walking up, it kind of resembled like Pringles, but they was like Pringles of like a foreign type food in a sense, okay? So I don't know where you guys shop at or whatever the case may be, but something pertaining to like foreign types of food in a sense, okay? I don't know if it's foreign snacks or foreign foods. Anyway, so nevertheless, in the store, it was like I saw this and I asked the lady, how much was this? And then I walked away and I thought to myself, did I really want it? Do I really need it? So I walked away, and as I walked away, it was like an opening in the opening area in the market, and I saw like a dead frog sitting or laying on its back in the middle of the store. And I thought to myself, I saw a manager coming, what I knew was a manager coming. And as he was coming, he went up to talk to another employee. I thought he was going to tell the employee, let's get this cleaned up, because it's not good customer service to have a dead, animals, not animal, but amphibian or whatever, sitting here in the middle of the floor or whatever the case may be. So nevertheless, he didn't even say anything about cleaning it up. So the frog was just laying there on his back. So the frog was just a representation of, if you think about it, frogs go back to Egypt when the plagues came. You know what I mean? The plagues of when Moses told Pharaoh to let my people go, and Pharaoh didn't want to listen, so God sent the plague of frogs, okay? But those frogs were living. But this frog was dead, okay? So this frog was dead on its back. And not only that, but representation of frogs usually is like prosperity, luck and thriving in a sense. So if you're in a situation that you find that there's something that maybe God has asked you to do or move in a way that you have not moved, or whatever it is that maybe God has asked you to do that you have not done, that has allowed you to create stagnant energy and infertility in a sense, okay? So whatever it is that you're trying to make fruitful, God will make it unfruitful until you do what it is that he's asked you to do, okay? So this last message came through this morning, and the message I heard was, you can't keep creating discomfort or dis-ease in your life, okay? Let me say it again. You can't keep creating discomfort or dis-ease, okay? So with that being said, sometimes we'll work through anything that we may be dealing with. And God sends all those uncomfortableness and any dis-ease that we may be feeling within us all. He sends certain things to help us to get out of certain mindsets, to help us to get out of certain habits. He sends us those things to allow us to be uncomfortable so that we will move. Okay. So with that being said, whatever it is that God is asking you to do, he's asking you to do it for a reason. So, in order to avoid the discomfort, if you choose to, again, it's your life. You have to live it. So whatever it is that God is asking you to do, he's trying to get you out of your comfort zone. So the more that you acknowledge when something is making you uncomfortable or something is not feeling easy with you, then maybe you ought to make a different choice. Because when that energy comes, it's letting you know, hey, you're headed in the wrong direction. Okay, I need you to go that way, or I need you to go this way. Okay, well, we're not going backwards, so we're going forward. So it's more so I need you to go this way. Okay, so keep that in mind as well too. So anything that kind of presents itself like that, whether it be people that makes us uncomfortable when we're around them, jobs, places, situations, or all of these things. Okay, they're there for a reason. So and I received this message as well too. So let me say this really quick before I go. We're coming up on what is it? I think it's the first week of April. We was presented with this energy back in like 2020. Remember, 2020 was the year of the pandemic. Okay, so much stuff has started to happen. So many people had found themselves dealing with certain situations. Okay, and I truly believe that what's happening here now, because that 3-year cycle is coming to a close. So if you don't want to find yourself locked into another 3-year cycle of being on that hamster wheel and dealing with the same old stuff again, here's what it is. Back then, God had presented some people with a choice. And I'm only giving this as an example because I remember this clearly. Some of you, it had been a situation of your job keeping you very busy and kind of blocking you from the things and the desires of your heart. Okay. So it's almost like your job was keeping you busy, keeping you occupied, keeping you blocked from being able to see the truth. So now this energy is about to present itself again. And it's a matter of how will you choose to move this time around, because not only was the job doing it, but I also saw that the individuals were purposely doing it. Okay, so you have to realize that, especially when you work for these big corporations or whatever, you have to realize that they want you to give your time, energy, your effort, and basically your whole life to them. And basically God tells you that there should be a balance between the two, not just all one way, not just fully this way, but staying balanced, meaning you got to have this and you got to have that to coexist with each other in order to create harmony. Because the more you just do this, it's not going to work out. You're going to always find yourself being in a situation or circumstance that makes you uncomfortable in order to get up to make different choices. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. But I wish you all much love, much light until the next message. Bye.